Mama restaurants are struggling. Operators say they are having to keep price increases to a minimum, while the cost of raw ingredients and operational expenses continue to soar as they struggle to break even. Being tied down by how little they can increase their prices means that management has had to inject money and fire staff to sustain the business. The Malaysian Indian Muslim Restaurant Owners Association says customers are also going for simpler meals now to fill their stomachs without costing as much.
What you just saw isn't just a dramatic video. For thousands of F&B owners out there, that chaos is their everyday reality. They are forced to make high-stakes decisions based on fragmented data and disconnected records, constantly worry that a single miscalculation could shut their doors for good. Hi, my name is Daniel, and my team and I believe that running a restaurant shouldn't mean guessing your way through the dark. That is exactly why we built Tauke.AI, a digital co-pilot designed to turn that fear of the unknown into absolute zero-risk certainty. According to a famous study by Ohio State University, 60% of restaurants do not survive their first year, and within 5 years, 80% have completely shut down their doors. We aren't just looking at statistics here. That 80% represent real people. These are business owners who pour their life savings, their time, and their passion into a dream, only to lose everything. This isn't just a tough industry, it is a crisis. Small and medium F&B owners are bleeding out there, and they are doing it because they are fighting completely unequipped. They don't need a better advice. They need a lifeline. They need a rescue. Because when we look closer at why that 80% actually fear, it usually comes down to 4 critical pitfalls that most owners never see coming. First, a mismatch in value. If the price is high, but the quality of the store experience doesn't match what the target customer expect, they won't come back. Second, poor financial and operational spending. Things like wasting inventory, bad cash flow, and guessing at prices will burn through the capital fast and ruin your ability to adapt to the market. Third, blind imitation. If you just copy competitors without doing your own local research, you end up with a generic brand that gives people no real reason to choose you. And finally, the external shocks we can't control. Right now, the industry is getting squeezed by currency fluctuation, supply chain disruption from geopolitics, and massive food inflation that is doubling the cost of essentials like wheat and sugar. So knowing these threats, let's look at how we address them. We just look at the massive force that cause businesses to fear. But the truth is, those big disasters rarely happen overnight. They start on the ground, day to day. It's the accumulation of small unresolved daily problems and minor blind decisions that eventually snowball into those fatal failures. And that brings us to the 3 problems we are tackling today. First, it's disconnected information. Right now, an owner's daily sales are tracked in one system, but their suppliers' bills are sitting in drawer somewhere else. Because these numbers aren't combined in one place, owners have a huge blind spot. They simply can't see what it actually costs to run their business day by day. That leads directly to the second problem, always being one step behind. Because owners are forced to guess rather than look at the full picture, they usually don't realize that their profits are dropping, or their ingredient prices went up until the end of the month. By the time we finally find out, the money is already lost. Finally, we have what we call the fear of trying new things. When you don't know what is your exact numbers, making any changes, like adding a new menu item or tweaking a price, is a massive risk. Right now, the only way for these owners to test a business idea is through expensive trial and error. They have to risk their actual capital and their reputation in the real world just to see if a strategy works. Because they can't afford to fail, they get stuck in survival mode. Instead of growing, they stay paralyzed by the fear of making one wrong move and their business just stands still. That is exactly why we built Tauke.AI. It is a smart assistant for F&B owners that does 2 very important things. First, it gives you a clear, instant insight into your actual daily costs and profits. And second, it acts as virtual simulators, letting you safely test out new business decisions before you spend a single dollars in real life. Now, let me show you the platform in action. Right after you register, you hit the setup page. You just plug in the basic details, your location, your operating hours, and your target audience. Then comes out the data part. Instead of manually typing numbers into complicated spreadsheets, you simply upload your existing sales data and supply invoice right here. One click, and you're done. Once your data is in, Tauke.AI builds a strategy digital twin of your business. This is our sandbox mode. Let's say you have a gut feeling. Maybe you're thinking, what if I raise my price by 10%? Or what if I hire an extra waiter on Friday nights? You can run a simulation right here. In seconds, our engine stimulates thousands of virtual customer interaction based on your local market to show you exactly how that change will hit your bottom line. You see the outcome before you spend a single cent. But what if you don't have a what if in mind? What if you're just exhausted and don't know what the next move should be? No worries, we have you covered. Even if you don't run a manual simulation, Tauke.AI is already working for you. It takes those sales and invoices documents you upload earlier and put them through a deep dive analysis. To make sure everything is perfectly accurate, the system acts like a real assistant, asking a couple of quick questions to confirm the trends is found. Once you hit confirm, your insights are already on one clean glass dashboard. This is where the chain reaction begins. From the analysis, our AI agents enter a multi-agent debate. Behind the scenes, they argue with each other, comparing your costs, your competitors, and your past performance to figure out the best path forward. They do all the heavy thinking for you. Within seconds, they present you with 3 clear actionable business strategies tailored specifically for your restaurant. All you have to do is read through them and select the one you like the best, Whether it's a plan to reduce food waste or a new marketing strategy for lunch crowd, once you pick a path, Tauke.AI instantly generates a complete step-by-step roadmap showing you exactly how to execute it. From your own ideas in the sandbox to our AI-proven strategies, Tauke.AI gives you the clarity to lead. Now you might be wondering, how we actually deliver these insights without overwhelming the user. Behind that simple dashboard is a powerful multi-agent architecture. Think of it as a complete virtual executive team that is working in the background for the restaurant owner. Now here's how they work together. First, we have our external data agents. It acts as our eyes and ears on the streets, constantly scanning local market trends, news, and location-based data so that the system will always understand the real-world environment. At the same time, we have the detective analysts. These agents look entirely inward at the restaurant's uploaded sales and invoices. It uncovers hidden cost leaks and generates instant, accurate insights on the current financial health of the business. Now, a common problem with AI is hallucination. In the F&B business, we cannot afford the AI to guess. That's why we built a strict supervisor agent. It acts as our quality control, fact-checking everything the other agent do to ensure every number and insight is 100% grounded in reality. Once the data is verified, we enter the boardroom. Instead of a one-sided AI, we trigger a multi-agent debate. Specialized agent, acting as your CFO, CMO, and COO, argue behind the scenes, looking at your data from entirely different perspectives to eliminate bias and filter out risk. Finally, a CEO agent evaluates the debate to recommend the safest, most profitable direction. Within seconds, you receive 3 clear strategies from every angle of your businesses. Now, outside of this automated workflow, we have our most powerful feature, which is the simulator. This is a dedicated what-if sandbox where an owner can test any idea, no matter how small or how big. Want to see what happens if you raise your burger price by 2 ringgit, or if you switch to a cheaper bun supplier? Now, instead of risking it in real life, you plug it in here. The system uses the agents with different assigned identities to stimulate exactly how your customer and your margins will react, giving you the answers in seconds. It's the end of trial and error. You'll see the result before you spend a single cent. So, while the owner just clicks a few buttons on an easy-to-use dashboard, this entire intelligent ecosystem is working behind the scenes to turn their scattered data into a bulletproof business roadmap. When restaurant owners hear about AI, their first thought is often, why not just use ChatGPT? It's free and easy. Well, ChatGPT is a master of theory that knows absolutely nothing about your actual reality. It's just guessing because it can't see your actual business fingerprint. That is why if you ask a general AI like ChatGPT how to save your business, it just gives you a textbook advice. Tells you to improve customer service or run a promotion. It's generic, it's flat, it's a good theory without any context. Using General 2 is an old way. It relies on institution foresight, essentially a nice word saying blind guessing. You take a monotonous strategy from a one-sided AI, and then you engage a costly trial and error. You spend real money on a promotion that might fail. You are testing your survival with your own revenue. That isn't a strategy. That's a gamble. And this is why Tauke.AI is the only correct answer for a serious business owner. We replace maybe with certainty. First, we move from trial and error to cost-free simulation. Before you even spend a single cent on a new menu item or price hike, you run it through our strategic digital twin, which is our simulator. Our engine simulates thousands of customer interaction to prove the idea works in a virtual sandbox, zero risk and total safety. Second, we move from monotonous AI to holistic strategies. Instead of one AI giving you one opinion, our multi-agent debate forces different AI personas to argue against each other. They stress test every idea from the perspective of a customer, chef, or a CFO to find the single smartest path forward. And finally, we don't just give you a prediction, we give you a data-driven foresight. We combine your internal sales data with external market signals to create detailed guidance. While ChatGPT leaves you with a paragraph of text, Tauke.AI hands you a phased execution roadmap, step-by-step blueprint of exactly what to do on day 1, day 7, and day 30. We don't just tell you what the future looks like, we give you the tools to build it. Tauke.AI is already solving the biggest problem in F&B today, but we aren't stopping there. Here's exactly where this platform is heading next. First, our ultimate vision, which is cross-industry adaptability. When we built Tauke.AI to rescue the F&B industry, our architecture is incredibly flexible. Soon, this same zero-risk growth engine will be seamlessly deployed into retail, hospitality, and e-commerce. Finally, handwritten data ingestion. We are expanding access to traditional street hawkers by allowing them to simply snap photos of their handwritten sales and inventory books. Our system digitizes these records instantly, completely eliminating the need for CSV or digital spreadsheets. This brings the power of Tauke.AI even to the smallest roadside store. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.